Well, Groundhog Week Nitty Bong. I'm Engineer Hoist, and welcome to our weekly live stream. I hope you can hear me tonight. I think I got all the audio fixed because we had a false start last week. And so let me know in the comments, any of you guys, Super VH, David Slinky, Mercenary Terror, Defensor, Mega Prime, 101 UHSF, Wolfman, Joey Johnston, Razorquake, Stan Tarvin. Welcome to everybody. Thank you for being here. You can hear me good. No idea what happened there, but I changed a few things around because I did a couple of updates here and there, and you know how it goes. Whenever you do an update, things go wacky, and you got to fix stuff. So yeah, it wasn't broken, so I fixed it, and then had to fix it again because it then broke. Such is life with computers and live streams, you know. So it's all good. But when Kremzik is here, just in case we need him. Hopefully we won't, but that's how it goes. Loktar, hello, welcome, one of our channel members. Thank you. So we're going to talk about the event as we usually do. It's the endurance event. We're bringing in the new characters, and I've got a few crystals, not a whole lot. But we'll go ahead and throw the Duke party and see how we go. I did want to talk about a little bit of toy news that kind of showed up yesterday, I think it was, and I actually did get a couple of new figures to show off a little bit later. So let's go ahead and talk about the news. There we go. I had to find the right button. This weekend's event is called Full Circle. And so fight in this event to unlock the 3, 4, or 5-star Brawn or Full Tilt. And you can also get a whole bunch of 3-star, 4-star, 5-star shards, premium shards, spark, combine the spark, power core, chips, total spark, total shard crystals, all sorts of stuff depending on how far in the endurance event y'all go. This is an Alliance Endurance event. It's a relatively new type of event, but I think we've used it. This is what, the third or fourth time that we've used when we've gotten some new bots. It's basically replaced the leaderboard, which most people didn't really care for. Some people I think liked, but it was getting a little ridiculous. So they was like, okay, let's just put a really high score to hit instead of just how much can you score. Starts at the usual Friday start time, ends at the usual Monday stop time. Just one big prize list and Super XP throughout the event. Got to be headquarters level 4 and be in an alliance to hit the yellow event button, pick your zone, pick the battle, win the battle, collect the points, and collect the prizes. The event battle zones are the standard battle zones, and here is the full prize list. And as we go through, there are prizes all the way through. At 250,000 points scored by the Alliance, you get the 3-star bot. And let's see, then you get some character shards at 550,000. So again, we're not giving out the 2-star bot and nothing related to the bot until you hit 250,000 points as an Alliance. So worked out for my Alliance when we went for Roadbuster, because we actually did score the 3-star, but when Top Spin came around, we didn't quite make it, so I had to wait until the bundle came around for Top Spin. But that's okay. I still kind of wish they'd at least give out the 2-star early, or just some shards even. If you don't want the 2-star, you could at least score some shards earlier. But if you want a 4-star, you and your Alliance need to get to 1.5 million points, and a brand new 5-star is yours if your Alliance can score 3.5 million points. And there's quite a few Alliances out there that can score that, and I'm pretty sure there's some that coordinate and basically mercenary out to work on those. Tends to happen during these types of Alliance and leaderboard events. So if that's you, if you're going for that, good luck, and good luck for whatever prizes that you're going for. If you're not familiar, here is the prizes that you'll get in the total spark crystal. These only come pretty much after you hit the 4-star crystal. Then you'll start getting total spark and total shard crystals. I think most people who are going for that probably already know what's in them, but just in case you forgot, this is what is typically in there. It was not published in the newsletter, but this is what it's been, so I'd like to throw these slides up there just in case anybody didn't know. Okay, so let's talk about the new bots. First up, Brawn, finally, is coming into the game. After 6 years, we finally get one of the original G1 characters in the game. Brawn is amazingly strong for his size and almost indestructible. Just a little problem with the shoulder area. Often he plays on a foe's misconception of his might to get up close and personal enough in combat to make that brute force work to his full advantage. Sometimes, though, he overcompensates for his lack of vertical stature and makes rash and reckless decisions that land him in deep trouble, and is dismissive of less battle-hardened bots. Brawn is an expert in demolitions, whether it's buildings or Decepticons. His counterpart for the Decepticons is Full Tilt, the chest minion for Triptychon. Full Tilt is as driven as his name suggests. He's often seen by other Decepticons as barely a bot in his own right, but rather an adjunct to the occasional Titan. And so he strives ceaselessly to carve out a niche of his own. Resentful, angry, he's nevertheless very good at what he does, which is to flatten and pulverize anything in his way. In fact, he possesses Titan-level strength and tank-like durability, but just can't get past what others think of him. And we've seen them before, but if it's your first time here are the toys that these are based on. This is the Power of the Primes Brawn. He's like what we call core class now. They wasn't core class at the time, but it's what we call core class now. And because of the Power of the Primes and all of that, he does actually have a little room for a little Titan Master or something dude to sit in when he's in alt mode. And this is Full Tilt, again, obtainable only by getting the Titan class Triptychon toy. Now, my Full Tilt here has been enhanced with some Toy Hacks labels because I like doing that, and it's fun, although I haven't quite put him on Triptychon yet, even though I've had him for years. toy haxing at Titan is just, it takes a while. I've done Omega Supreme and the Arc, and it took like 2 days, like 12 hours total time. But that's beside the point. Full Tilt and Brawn, these guys are coming in the game. These are the toys they're based on. So yeah, there we go. back to the news. Let's see. Professional Husky is here. It says, bro, it didn't notify me even though I have freaking notifications on and a notifier on stream. Set an alarm. Go into your calendar. Thursday, 8 p.m. Set yourself an appointment and an alarm. That way you can definitely be here. You don't have to do that, but I mean, if you really want to, I mean, that's a way to do it without relying on YouTube notifications, which, to be fair, I hear a lot of people say that you sign up for, subscribe, you ring the bell, you ask for all notifications, and yet you still don't get them. So I don't know what YouTube's doing. But anyway, if for something like this, which is scheduled for the same time every week, you can always take advantage of the calendar app on your phone. So, life tips with Hoist, life hacks, or whatever you want to call it. Oh, anyway, so their ability. I think we talked about this last week, but I put together a nice little slide. It's called Capacitor Burst. You fire a single target EMP rocket that disables your opponent for 10 seconds. But if the enemy was already stunned by any EMP effect, it will overcharge and implode, receiving a whole bunch of damage. And so there you go. We got a question here. Why is Brawn smaller than Full Tilt? Like over here? Well, Full Tilt in toy form, Full Tilt is more of a deluxe class, and Brawn is more of a core class. In the game, I'm pretty sure they're about the same size. So we'll actually go check them out in the test account here in a moment, so we can see Full Tilt is actually a smaller bot, very similar to Brawn. All right, so we took a look at this last week because they revealed it in the stream, even though it wasn't a newsletter. Well, it was in the newsletter today, so it's in the slides. The team's been hard at work working on the Alliance headquarters. They're close to the finish line. Got many details to share. But they wanted to show these images that we looked at. I figured we'd go ahead and share them again. So this is the Autobots Alliance headquarters, and this is the Decepticons. As you can see, they're basically the same thing. They look like Kamino from Star Wars, where the clones were made. But it looks pretty good. And in the newsletter, they're actually animated GIFs or GIFs, however you want to say it. But can't really pull that off with the slides. But yeah, they look pretty cool. No word on exactly what's going in there, but that's the details that are going to come soon that they mentioned. So, looks pretty cool. And someone's been watching the Bad Batch. Rip Camino. So also, since this is the end of the saga, we are going to be starting a new one, which means also a new Cyber Pass, which also means new skins. And these are pretty cool. I have never seen this coloration for Cheetor before, but apparently this is based on an Armada figure of his, very much like Shadow Panther, but with some red and purple highlights. And then for the Beast Wars Megatron, you can put on a skin so that he looks like the Maximal T-Rex. And that one, I do actually have a figure of. So we'll go and put him over here. And there you go. There's Maximal T-Rex. He was released in the Kingdom toy line. And very, very cool. Love the shiny bluish purple that they've got on his back there, and maybe we'll go ahead and transform him a little bit later on. But that he takes a little bit of time, so we'll get through the news first, and then we'll come back and maybe we'll give him a shot transforming him. The Red Alert says we had that Cheetor at the store. Oh, really? Cool. When I first saw it, I was thinking, man, I really kind of wish I had an extra Kingdom Cheetor. I'd probably paint him up like that, because that's actually a really cool coloring. narrating the toy display there. Out of my way, rawr. Okay, so it is community corner time. So let's go ahead and go over here. We're starting off with Razorquake, a little different than his usual early submissions, which are the car creations he makes in another video game. Don't worry, they're coming later. So we've got some toy photos, which I appreciate. We've got Kingdom Galvatron there having a seat on the Decepticon throne. I'm guessing this is after he gave Starscream that hint, judging by the crown laying on the ground at his feet. And I think we're going backwards in time, perhaps, or maybe an alternate universe, because here is Starscream still alive with his coronation outfit on, and he is also crossing universes to threaten the Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime. Crossing more, the Seekers they're just crossing all sorts of universes. Now we're over into was it the Cybertron or Energon universe? I can't remember, but Override facing off against Thundercracker. Skywarp is over here facing off on Dirty Swipe. I mean the Siege Sideswipe Battle Damage. I believe that's a Netflix variant where they made it really dirty. Either that or you went and played with them out in the dirt or something. But and meanwhile, while everybody's fighting out there, Bumblebee just goes and decides to take a seat on the throne and rule the Decepticons for a while, I guess. And then one last scene here with saying literally every G1 episode in a nutshell. Megatron grabbing Starscream by the throat and saying, "You fool! You retreat!" And as promised, here are the pictures. And yeah, he's jumping out ahead of the toy news that we're going to get to here in a minute with the creation of Dion. If you remember the old G1 episode War Dawn, back where we first meet Orion Pax, Dion was his best friend, and his girlfriend was Ariel. And we have a nice motorcycle drawn up in a very deep pink color as Ariel, spelled Erial, because he just doesn't know how to spell. I'm kidding. We'll see. That's how it's spelled on the box. There's much speculation for why that is. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And we've got a new improved Last Night Bumblebee. Apparently it was cloudy outside, so it was dark when he took the picture. And of course, we've got Dion and Ariel, so here's Orion Pax. And I actually dig this one quite a lot. DJ Gigawatt. I'm not sure if it comes across very well, but on the hood it says Back to the Future there. So I like this one quite a bit. So well done, Razorquake. If I had a second Gigawatt, I would probably consider doing this. I like it. Reminds me a lot of the Behold Galvatron that they did, where he was kind of doing like the scan thing when he was scanning. You know, it was like the Unicron companion set. It was a Generation Selects. It was a year or so ago. So it reminds me a lot of that. I like it a lot. And Bumblebee movie Cliff Jumper, if he made it to Earth, I like that. I can see that. Very, very much the Transformers Prime style Cliff Jumper vehicle mode. I like it. And because the Minecraft is not playing nicely with PB2 and he's having trouble getting that Fort Max completed, we've been treated to the Maximal T-Rex there in Minecraft. Excellent job on that. Oh, and we've got a late edition Prime and Duncan coming in. Oh, we've got more bots facing off. This time, Grimlock is over there. Blitzwing is approaches, and Grimlock says, come at me, bro. So yeah, well, there we go. That is the community corner. So thank you very much, everybody, for sharing that your pictures and all that. And just a reminder, if you happen to be watching this somewhere other than YouTube, there's the link. It's youtube.com/engineerhoist. If you're watching it on YouTube, you already know how to get here. So thank you for that. And just want to throw up some credits, which I haven't updated in a little while. So if you've supported and haven't, thank you also. And if you've dropped your support and you're still on here, consider it a gift. But thank you to everybody, all of the channel members and moderators for your support, through everything. All right, so very cool. So let's go ahead and take a look at T-Rex over here. So there he is. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get this guy transformed, and then we'll go into doing some crystals and whatnot. It's been a while since I transformed this guy, but you pretty much just kind of flay him and unfold him a little bit. It's much harder to do when it's all the way over there. I know somehow this... I think I've got to spin him first. Or no, he clips on there. Yeah, there we go. Then we spin him. Then we bring him down. There we go. And these pieces come down. And meet in the middle. Very difficult to do, having to reach out past the camera. There we go. I'm not going to bother cleaning up all that back mess. You'll get the idea. So there is the Maximal T-Rex. Basically the same Megatron face, same Megatron hand, and non-hand. I think he actually does have a hand under here somewhere. But yeah, so there you go. There's your Maximal T-Rex. It messes me up every time. Yep. I promised you we'd take a look at him, and there you go. So how about we go in, before we go crack crystals, we're just going to go take a look on the test server. As you can see across the top of the screen there, test server. I don't have these bots yet, and I unintentionally strategically hid all of my resources, but with my face, so you don't have to ask why I have so many coins. But here we go. Oh, before we go in there,
roll out.
No, roll in, Autobots. We're not going out just yet. So here is Brawn. This is the 5-star we're trying out. He's level 50. I've got him to level 10 because I wanted to show you what his ability 11 does. So here, fire a single target EMP rocket, disables for 10 seconds. If it was already stunned, it will overcharge and implode, receiving 7,408 damage for a level 50 5-star with a level 10 ability. The upgrade bonus will increase the range by 30%. And when you see what kind of range he has, the increased range is kind of needed. So, and we'll actually look at him in the showroom, so you can see he's kind of a small bot. Small in stature, but big in bravado. And he's going to go transform. And there you go. So he's wearing the back of his vehicle as kind of a hat. I'm not entirely sure why they chose to do that, but on the toy it actually sits on the actual back where his legs were. But they chose to make it a hat for his truck mode there, and move it over to his arm to use as a shield when he's in robot mode. Which that is something the toy can do, but I usually store it on the back, basically the same place where they had it in vehicle mode. That's where I put it in the robot mode. So I don't know if you can see. So see, I store it on his back over there, but he can actually store it. You can put it on his arm. I do happen to have full tilt. I don't have a 5-star of him, so I've got to scroll down to find him. And so there he is. Not sure if it's obvious, but he is also a little dude. And so there you go. Looking very much the part. And we transform. Even though the full tilt toy is a headmaster, which I cannot remember the name of the head. But this guy is not, because we don't have headmasters in the game, or at least we don't have the headmaster gimmick in the game. And yes, this is very accurate to the toy alt mode as well. So there is full tilt for all of you dirty Decepticons. I mean, wonderful, friendly Decepticons.
Roll out!
Alright, so let's go use them in battle. And since I basically had this squad already, and I threw Brawn in here. We've got Sea Spray, and you know who else needs to be in here? Bumblebee. So those are a couple of guys that are pretty good to pair with Brawn because of the whole EMP synergy. Alright, so I'm going to bring these guys in over here. See where they go. See, there's Brawn. Not a bad range. So let's go ahead and have him target the mortar over there. So as you can see, it stunned it, but it's not really causing any kind of damage at all. So now we're going to go ahead and throw Bumblebee over there to stun it. And then Brawn. And boom, 7,000 damage. So the key is to throw out your stun ability first, and then hit it with the Brawn's attack. Problem with Sea Spray is it doesn't stay stunned for very long. And you know what I noticed? The cost for his ability is 4, and it's staying 4. I don't know if that's going to stay that way or not. I'm not sure if they said. Okay, so we stunned it with Brawn, and then follow up. So that's another thing you can do. You could use his ability first to cause the stun for 10 seconds, and then you can follow up with his second shot to cause that damage. So even if you don't have any other EMP style bots with you, you can just use 2 shots of Brawn's ability. It costs you 4 ability points. That's about what it would cost you to use one of the other ones plus his anyway. So you could always just use 2 shots of Brawn's ability as long as they leave the ability at 4 shots, 4 points only, and no increase. Because like they did that with Smokescreen, it was always 3 points for Smokescreen. No matter what, it's always 3 points. So if they leave Brawn in full tilt at 4 points every time, so you could cause some serious damage with just 2 shots of his ability. The first one, you send it out there, it'll stun for 10 seconds. You just follow up with the second one to cause a massive amount of damage. Sea Spray doesn't work that great unless you time it right because it stuns, but it doesn't stun for very long. Maybe that depends on maybe it depends on the ability. I'm not sure what the ability is. So no, it stuns. It just stuns and interrupts. It doesn't save, but it doesn't stun for very long. Bumblebee would be good, and Mirage I think would be another good pairing because he has those stunning missiles. So we've got Full Tilt over here. So along with some other bots that I have on this test account. Remember, test account. I don't actually have all of the 5-star bots. I just kind of went and got them because I was bored one day, and now that actually clogs up everything. So here we go. This is a little bit lower of a base. So we'll go in here. We'll just drop Full Tilt. And see, he has level 8 ability and level 50 also with 5,978 damage.
Abilities.
So he's stunned first, follow with the second ability, boom. You're not going to clear the base like this, but you can certainly get some good work in taking out some abilities here. Now, I don't think you can stun. Can't usually stun the shock towers, so that strategy is not really going to work for you. So there you go. The double shot of his ability will get you. We'll get you that massive damage. But we always like Lugnut's poke. I suppose that's EMP as well. Death Chicken also throws down some EMP for a short time. So if you can time that, you can probably get some extra effect from Full Tilt. So there you go. That's Brawn and Full Tilt in battle. Definitely bots that they're not going to be game-changing bots on their own. You're probably best done with synergy, or like I said, you could double shot their own ability. At least it synergizes with itself. With the second shot on the same target will cause the damage. So it might take a little bit of practice to use them effectively for everybody, but pretty good little bots. So. The Mercenary Terror is saying, if I'm correct, Ripper Snapper does stun damage. Yeah, he does. I think. I'm not sure if that would be necessarily a good one to use though, because as he's sitting there, he causes the stun damage as he's actively attacking it, and so by the time you were able to fire off one of those shots, it would probably be wasted because depending on the level of your Ripper Snapper, he may have the target destroyed before that missile even gets there. So give it a try, see if it works. But so Bumblebee definitely causes some EMP. Silverbolt and Thundercracker definitely cause some EMP, although they cause a fair amount of damage too. I'm not sure, maybe if you're going for an MDS or something, maybe they don't have quite the damage capability. I was said it before, Mirage and Breakdown. OG, G1 Breakdown, not that Prime Breakdown wannabe. So basically, if it causes EMP, like I said, Lugnut and Alita 1, Star Saber or Death Chicken. Death Saurus. They could cause EMP as well. Let's see. Ironhide, I believe, and Bludgeon leave behind EMP but stuns as well as you do use their ability. So a lot of different options. Yeah. Robert C. Forrest says Thundercracker should be a flat 3 in your opinion. I don't know, man. If I had Thundercracker at a flat 3 points ability every time, the way his damage works, it just when I have Silverpult on my team, I don't have to worry about any long range threats because I hit him on all of the missile launchers, all the beam lasers, all the mortars before the rest of my team even gets there, unless it's like a really clumped base. And so, even though it might take 15 seconds to take all that damage, they're stunned the whole time. Yeah, I think it's good that he's not a flat 3. To be honest with you, he'd be too OP if his points didn't go up. So, all right, so we're back over on the main account. As soon as I hit the button, we'll go ahead and turn test off. Let's see. Cuddy Fox says Swoop and Scourge does stun damage in the ability 11 mode. Okay, well I didn't realize that, but there again, similar to like what I was saying about Ripper Snapper, they're doing the stun and they're also causing damage at the same time. May not be the best use of Brawn or Full Tilt. Give it a try. Might be helpful if they're doing the damage but not quite finishing off. If there's still some stun time left, maybe you can hit it. Definitely it'll take some trial and error to figure out the best flow for that. All right. So like I said, don't have a lot of crystals, and some of these are very not really exciting, like free crystals, free combat chips. I just pulled these like right before. A couple, but right before the stream, so I left them in there to crack. 3-star Gator's face. So I did get 10 Decepticon premium crystals because I figured might as well get some dupes of them. Maybe a new bot, who knows. But I did get 20 Autobot crystals. I've got 2 skid cores to crack. And the reason I left these loot boxes from the dispatch missions is for the first time I got like a big loot crate. So small loot crates, medium loot crate, and I haven't even looked at this because I didn't want to accidentally crack it. I got a big loot crate. So a Mark III battle booster, 5,000 spark, or 5,000 premium shards. Seriously, just a single Mark III booster? That is the worst thing. Yeah, I always hate that when I get a battle boost from from the medium loot crate. I mean, at least give 3 battle boosts. But to get the exact same thing you get from the small loot crate, and now the big one is the same thing, that is the most ridiculous thing ever. I don't usually speak out about things that aren't right in the game because I usually take things as they come. But the single battle boost from a medium or a big loot crate is the worst thing. Like right there, big loot crate. Excited for my first big loot crate, and what did I get? I got a stinking purple Kremzik. That is the biggest travesty in this game, to be honest with you. But I'll get over it. Honestly, I don't really want those kind of dispatch missions because it took players from my main squads. Most of my dispatch missions, particularly on the Autobot side, is using the lower level bots that aren't even on any of my squads. So it's perfect. My squads are untouched. The rest of them go through and work on the small and medium loot crate style missions. The big loot crate mission took like bots from like 3 of my squads, so I had to adjust or just not use those squads. So honestly, they can keep those missions if they're just going to give me a stupid Kremzik. Yeah, I mean, at least give me 5 Kremzeeks, right? Because you could get 5,000 shards or 5,000 spark. At least give me 5 Kremzeeks. It's fine. Kremzeek is fine, but give me 5 of them. Hey, that's done. Rant over. All right, let's get these skins. This is the Shattered Glass Wheeljack and the Shattered Glass, what's your face? Flame War. Let's do these 10 Decepticon crystals. I'm just going to let it run because there's not that many to begin with. Yeah, Super VAT, he's here with me. Kremzeek, right? They need to move out the battle boost using high levels. Yeah, there was a time I was actually just using battle boost just because I had so many of them. But I rarely use them either. Hey, look, we got a 2-star Terramander. Oh, you know what that tells you? Top Spin's also in the crystals now too. So we must have hit that time. And I think they did say that 8 weeks from the event is where you'll see the bots enter the normal crystal. So basically, and since they're doing a new bot every 8 weeks, when it is the event for the next bot, the previous bot will be in your normal crystals. Premiums, 3-star, 4-star, whatnot. That's a good way to think about it. When it's time to play the event for the new bot, the last bot will be in normal crystals. That's a good play too. It's a good play anyway. That will never keep it straight. Well, how long has it been? When's that next one coming? Or I can never remember. I always kept saying, I'm going to write it down, I'm going to figure it out, and I just never did. Finally, they just came out and told us when they changed it, and they just came out and told us what it was going to be. I'm like, okay, good. You put something off long enough, you just don't have to worry about it at all. Somebody else will do it for you, or it's going to change anyway. Oh, way to help my procrastination. Whoa, look at that. 2-star, a duplicate 4-star Sentis Magnus. Wow. Okay, so we got a volatile mixture out of that, and of course the 5-star shards, and 1,000 Sentis Magnus shards. Ooh, I wonder if that's enough for me to rank him. I don't know if I did rank him yet already.
Optimus Prime. Attack!
There's Top Spin. Actually, I opened all those crystals last week and got really lucky and got all 2, 3, and 4-star Top Spin. But with all of the duplicates and everything, I actually had enough shards to rank him for 4. Just from that bundle. Because remember, the bundle also gives you character shards too. So, but yeah, with the shards from the bundle plus all the duplicates from that Top Spin bundle, I had enough to rank him to right away. All right, we did get 2 4-star crystals. I'm trying to stay above 50,000 just in case that's what the 4-star Fort Max part ends up being. But because of shards from the Cyber Pass and events and whatnot, I had enough for a couple of 4-star crystals. So there we are. We're still well above 50,000. I think it's going to be 40,000, but just in case it's 50, I'm staying there. And if it works out to be 40,000, well, boom. Guess what? That's like that's 4 crystals, straight away. All right, so here we go. Duplicate Huffer gives us Ray boosters, which I don't need, but that's fine. And who is this other duplicate? It's Afterburner Breaker. Yeah, Combiner Spark this time, plus a target protocol. Okay, so good. Oh, we got stuff. That's right. This is our first time getting Terramander. Ah, I smell oceans. Actual H2O-based tidal expanses of brine. Ha! Yeah, whatever Earth lacks in terms of Cybertronian creature comforts, Terramander, it makes up for in seascapes. All of which makes a perfect proving ground for us sea gods. Too long we've lived in the shadow of that other patently inferior mob what calls themselves that. Yeah! Knew we should have trademarked the name or something, Selagon. Sea Phantom and I have a plan. Ah, getting you here is just the start of something much bigger. Uh-oh. Why am I suddenly worried? I get a sinking feeling. I'm gonna get roped into something I really want no part of. Ha! Still bemoaning your lot, I see. Don't you ever get tired of carping, Terramander? Har har. Go on, then. What sinister scheme are you about to embroil me in? Not around here. The walls have audio receptors, if you know what I mean. Yeah, Soundwave has the place wired for sound. In fact, the only place you can't hear what we say is underwater? Exactly. Why don't you slip into manta ray mode? Test run those vibro waves of yours. What? They find. Oh, I see. Fine, let's dive. What can I say except to be continued? So there we go. That is the story as it goes for Terramander. 10 out of 10 for voices. Oh, come on. I wasn't even doing voices that time. But thanks. I appreciate it. Checks in the mail. Same here. You know, they may call them inferior in the story mode game, but I personally like the King Poseidon, aka Piranacon, colors as well versus that god Neptune. But then again, we've established that I really like the wild colors, like Shatterglass Thundercracker, and if you want to see, go check out last week's stream when I get to showing off the toys. We were talking about the, I think they're calling it like the Toxitron toys. The new ones coming out in Legacy, Toxitron, Dorito Jazz, everybody's calling them. So I brought out my wildly colored figures, including most of them were from the Collector Club. So, oh yeah. So I wanted speaking of which, I wanted to talk about the new toy news for this week. Saw this. Somebody apparently found this set at. The report is that it was allegedly at a GameStop somewhere in Canada. This is the 2-pack of the War Dawn. In fact, it's called the War Dawn 2-pack, and it is Elite Ariel and Dion. And if you look real close, you may not. I don't know how big your screen is, but if you look real close on the package, or find it online, it's everywhere. In the hallway behind them, you can see Orion Pax kind of doing this. So yeah. So you got those guys. That was the first thing I saw, and just by looking at this, it's pretty obvious that Ariel is going to be the Legacy RC model. A lot of the first results, people were thinking, "Oh, what could Dion be? What could Dion be?" And to me, that was obviously the Studio Series Cup, which was also used for Orion Pax, and there we go. So there is the back of the package, and yes, indeed, Dion is that same mold used for Orion Pax. I mean, it makes sense. They were buddies. They were doing the same job working at a warehouse. The mold makes sense for that character. The interesting thing is, as Razorquake pointed out during our community corner, Ariel is spelled Erial, where I think a lot of people would expect the E and the A to switch places. A lot of speculation. Was this a typo that somebody did? Was it intentional? Or are they trying to avoid association with a particular red-haired mermaid out there? Or I've even seen some people saying, well, it's Alita 1 with E, so maybe E for let's change, make Ariel be start with the E, which kind of lends itself to Alita 1. And honestly, that's people trying to find excuses for it, whether that's a real reason or not. Honestly, I think that's a good theory. I doubt that's the reason, but I think it's a good enough theory. And who's to say Cybertronians would spell their names the same way that we would spell them on Earth, right? Robert says, "Got an E for effort." Yeah, E for Alita. That's I think is the prevailing theory. Ariel never had an alt mode. Yeah, that's true. But they do that where the characters who don't have alt modes, they want to make toys of them, so they'll give them alt modes. Nightbird never had an alt mode. She was just a robot ninja created by people that somehow came alive. I can't remember exactly what it was. But Nightbird never had an alt mode ever in fiction, but they wanted to make a toy of her. And like, RC's kind of like the same model. They got the same kind of body or whatever. So just give her RC's alt mode. So now Nightbird is basically forever a repaint of RC, except for in Siege. Yeah, they did a Selects version as a repaint of Chromia. And I'm not sure what they're doing in Rise of the Beast, but it's something different. So they definitely do that. Even characters that don't have an alt mode, if they want to make a toy of them, they'll still give them. Alpha Trion never had an alt mode, and he does now. Speaking of Alpha Trion, he is a space boat like Scourge. Which we kind of, that was pretty obvious when we saw Scourge. So I was like, that would make a really good Alpha Trion. And here's Orion Pax, and these two guys right here are why we're getting that War Dawn set. This was the what they call it, Birth of a Hero set or Origin of a Hero. Last year, I think it was, they did this set where we got Alpha Trion and Orion Pax. And so they're complete. And this was basically from the War Dawn episode, and they're just finishing that up by making his best friend Dion and his girlfriend Ariel. And the spoiler alert, but that's where they meet Megatron, and Megatron kills these guys, and because they were big fans of Megatron, but he turned on them and he killed them because he was stealing their energon from their factory. Alpha Trion was there. The aerial bots were there, and they liked Orion Pax. They took him to Alpha Trion. Alpha Trion fixed him up. He came back out. Now he's Optimus Prime. And then it wasn't shown in that episode, but essentially it was the same thing. Ariel was basically fixed up into Alita 1, who was... they never really quite got together again, but there was always some kind of a thing there. And Dion just went on the scrap heap. There was no mention about what happened with Dion. he just died. People have speculated because Orion Pax became Optimus Prime and Ariel became Alita 1. Something must have had to have been done with Dion. Was he Ultra Magnus? Or was he maybe become Ironhide or something like that? Because, Ultra Magnus is kind of like Optimus Prime's brother, sort of. In some people's minds or continuities, and Ironhide's always been kind of loyal to him, or whatever. But these are all just theories. Dion, I think, officially really just died. So Alpha Trion could fix two bots, and Optimus and Alita were the two. So. Super V8 says Dion was too damaged beyond repair. Actually, now that you mention that, I think there was a comic. I want to say there was a comic not too long ago where they kind of went into that. It might have been a Collector Club one where they showed where Dion did actually get fixed up or something, and then he came back and he gave his life for Optimus Prime and just was and then damaged beyond repair. So something like that. So he kicked the Energon bucket. Oh my gosh. Oh, speaking of Dion, I almost forgot I have a Dion figure. Speaking of the Collector Club, this was actually the very first Collector Club figure I got, I think. Because I had just joined the Transformers Collector Club when I was getting back into collecting. And this guy was like the member figure from a year or two prior to when I joined. And they still had him for sale. They had extras for sale as they did. And so I picked him up because like I never had a Dion. So there we go. And this was a remake of the Armada Hot Shot, I believe. And super great, just terrible. Dion, more like Dion Cybertron. Oh my goodness. Oh, boo. Is that Blaze Master on top? Yes. I can't remember if that's what his name is here. I think I almost can't remember what his partner's name is in this particular set. But this was the Minicon that originally came with the Armada Hotshot, and they just kind of recolored him into this. They made him part of the Autobot Elite Guard there, as you can see on his shoulder there. And that is the Dion that I have right now. And he's been out on my shelf, displayed prominently. In fact, I think I had him before I even had an Orion Pax. Certainly before I had a good Orion Pax. Speaking of Orion Pax, how about we go ahead and do that? It's been a while since I transformed this guy. I've never been known for my transformation videos, so bear with me. If you notice I don't do many reviews, it's because the transforming part of it always, kind of trips me up. I just don't spend the time with them enough to really get it down to where it's smooth enough that I could do it on camera. I also have a lack of fingernails, and fingernails are generally helpful when transforming figures. Oh no, his arm came off. Let's go ahead and take that one off too. Because they can. Because it's Cup. And that's a gimmick from because of his whatchamacallit 86 movie. Because when they first arrive on Quintessa, they end up in the water, and Cup falls apart, and he says, "Hot Rod, fix me right away, Cup." And his legs come off too. So. Go on, stupid thing. So there is Orion Pax, and Dion, the new one, will look basically like this. I don't know why that's not being tapped down. Or we can just pull that whole part of his leg off. Whatever. So there we go. Dion and Orion back together. Maybe swap the arms and legs. No, I'm not gonna do that. All right, so let's go ahead and move this out, and we'll move on to the hall portion. Might have felt like that this time, but first up, got in Legacy Metal Hawk a couple days ago. I have Legacy Animated Prowl coming tomorrow, I believe. So yeah, this guy's really cool. He's a big time retool of the Kingdom Cyclonus. Very, very much. I mean, you could pretty much tell just by his arms and the way the shoulders move, and then the wings and all that. But certainly, as soon as you get into the transformation, even the back, the legs, the way this comes out, and then that flips up. I mean, that right there, that's classic Kingdom Cyclonus, right there. If there was any doubt, that right there confirms it. But yeah, so there you go, and really cool. He's got this double blaster. It comes apart, goes on either side of the tail of his jet mode. He's got a nice little sword there. So very cool. I was a big fan of Metal Hawk in those IDW comics there, even though he was that's not exactly the same mold, but whatever. I'll take a Metal Hawk however I can get a Metal Hawk. And yeah, so there you go. So pretty happy with that. Red Alert Saiyan got his latest haul in the collection photos page. Let's take a look at this. And it worked. Doesn't always work when I change channels. Yeah, so this is the MMC. Was it Daikimus, which is their version of Roadbuster. Very cool. Yeah, I like that figure a lot. I got the Roadbuster, or no, the Bulkhead. The Bulkhead version. That was the TF Con one from that. So yeah, very cool. Altabot Phil says, just drove past the John Glenn Research Center in Cleveland. Thought it was fitting since watching an NASA employee right now. You better not be watching me while you're driving. How are you watching me while you're driving? This is my ideal Metal Hawk because it's animation accurate. Yeah, so whatever series that he originally came from, I didn't see. And I figure it's accurate to that, and so that's cool. So yeah, and I'm just glad that I actually heard of the character before, whether it's in the original media or not. Stuff like Override, I hadn't heard of before. I just think that's a really cool design for a figure, and honestly, the toy is fantastic too. Yeah, Evo Fusion. You want to know something? When they were first doing the stream, when they were showing all this stuff off in the Evo Fusion, I kept hearing Evil Fusion, like not good fusion, like Evil Fusion. So it's just before they showed the word, I kept hearing Evil Fusion. It's like, what is Evil Fusion? Then Evo, like evolution, Evil Fusion. Okay, fine. You got it. It's a weaponizer. Let's just call it what it is. It's a weaponizer, dude. We call it a fossilizer. Call it Evo Fusion. It's a weaponizer. Let's just stick with one term. It's like, when they came out with new versions of the Headmasters, we didn't all of a sudden call them, Cranium Masters and Noggin Masters and stuff like that. They were all still just Headmasters. Just call a weaponizer what he is, a weaponizer. So. Okay, whatever, man. So, all right. So the other thing I actually picked up today, just before the stream, I had to go out and pick up some groceries. So I make it a trip to go to. I make it a point to go to Walmart when I do that because I can swing by the Transformer section. And even though I've seen this figure before, I've passed in the I've not gotten in the past. But I always thought it looked good, and when they revealed it, I was thinking it's like, if I'm going to get just one figure from this line, this is going to be the one. And then after seeing the show, I was even more convinced, particularly the second season or whatever. So I picked up Twitch from Earthspark, and this is a really cool little figure. I've got her transformed here, obviously in her drone mode. Uh, Scale wise, she probably ought to be something like a core class, but I think you would not have gotten such a nice figure if she was that small. So deluxe class works, and so yeah, really cool. And the transforming her into the drone was harder than it probably should have been, just because lining it up just right, didn't quite. Wasn't as easy as it probably should have been. So we'll go ahead and get her transformed back. And it all had to do with the legs and getting the legs up under here and tap into that. It just didn't quite want to go together quite right. And I think it was just, I think part of it was this chest piece didn't really want to go all the way up at first. So this part of the tab on the foot didn't really want to go in as easily as it needed to. So we'll go ahead and get her transformed back. And there you go. There is Earthspark Twitch, and she's got a nice little blaster, which she can hold, and it's kind of mimics that deal where where they show like the arm just kind of transforms into the blaster. So that's kind of why it's so big covered up. That's supposed to be like she transformed her arm into the blaster. And yeah, these are on ball so you can position these blades very very much however you want. These other wing blades or whatever that you want to call them, they're posable. They're on ball joints. You can move them around wherever you want. I don't think it was intentional, but people have popped those ball joints off, and there's a way that you can get her to hold them. I think somehow. So, yeah, you almost might want to think this is like wind blade before she grows up because of the turbines and stuff like that. So there's my two new pickups this week: Metal Hawk and Twitch. I don't think I'll be getting the Megatron or Optimus or Bumblebee or anything. If anything, I might pick up what's the other one that they have in there? Nightshade, I think it is. So I don't think Nightshade is out yet, but I might pick up that one. I really like hashtag. Hashtag was cool. I'd pick up a hashtag. Hashtag needs to be Voyager class though, because she turned into a big truck. It would be really wrong if you had Twitch and Hashtag be like the same size. The way their albums turned out. So. All right, so let's see what are you guys saying? Petty Fox saying I think they'll add Scylla in May, so it means they'll have the whole set for the Seacons to form God Neptune in Earth Wars. Yeah, probably. Oh, you're listening, not driving. I got you. so excited to wait another 15 years to get my Iron Factory. Like, I know when did they first announce that? Like 2 or 3 years ago. I still haven't seen much from it. I'm waiting on that one myself. And Professional Huskies talking about Zelda Breath of the Wild. Talking about Light Ganon Hearts. Okay. I believe you. It's been a while since I played that. Honestly, I think, in addition to whatever you were saying about multipliers, just the attack pattern for Thunderblight is tougher. For me, anyway. Speed running. Who would want to do that? The whole point of the game like that is to enjoy being in the world. There's sometimes I'll sit down and I'll play that game for like hours, and I won't even do a single shrine or anything like that. I'll just be going around and gathering materials and stuff, trying to find, maybe if I'm looking for Koroks or something like that. It's just fun being in the world. Speed running. I mean, hey, credit to all those people who can pull that stuff off. They do some amazing things trying to speed running through games like that. And maybe they did enjoy it. This is just how they get to continue enjoying it. But I like that. I like taking my time, spending the time in the world. Every now and then, I actually just basically start over from the beginning, so I can go experience the whole story from the beginning again. I restarted Breath of the Wild at least twice. Red Dead Redemption 2, I think I want to say 3 times I've restarted. And Red Dead Redemption 1, that had to be 3 or 4 times at least. So usually what I do for something like that is I will go play through the game, not like speed run, like skip steps and things like that, but I will go through, and as soon as I meet the requirements to move on to like the next phase, I will immediately go move on to the next phase. And that's kind of what I did with Red Dead Redemption 2. But then the next time through, I'm like, no, I'm taking my time. I'm going to get all of the satchels, because once you get past a certain point in the game, Pearson's gone. You can't even get all the satchels. I'm like, no, I'm going to go through. I'm going to get all these little side quests. I'm going to finish all the side quests. I'm going to do all the satchels. I'm going to get all this stuff and just take my time. And usually by about the time that I only progressed because I ran out of stuff to do, because I needed a particular weapon which wasn't unlocked yet, so I had to move on to get it unlocked and stuff like that. But it's just cool, spending the time in fun games like that, beautiful games, just exploring the world. So, what's next? They brought back Gleok Redeads, and what are assumed to be Targaroks and Tears of the Kingdom as well. I haven't seen much on the. I'm sure it's out, but I haven't seen a lot. But I remember the Redeads. Those are like the little zombie things that were in the basement. So, wasn't it one of those things like where they'd like scream and then you'd like freeze or something, and then they jump on you and just chop your head or something like that? Yeah, I wasn't a fan of those guys. Yeah. Well, I think it's time to head out of here. I do appreciate everybody coming along for the ride. Good luck this weekend. I hope you manage to get the level of Brawn or full tilt that you want. If you're cracking any crystals from bundles or whatever, best of luck to you with that. And with that, I'm Engineer Hoist. Keep rolling, my friends, and I'll see you next time.